NHL insider Elliot Friedman reveals the trade price for defenseman Chris Tanev, as well as there's rumors swirling that the Habs are shopping young prospect Jordan Harris at the deadline. And I'll break it all down for you coming up on this episode of Hattrick HQ. But before we get into it, just want to say we're proud to announce that this video is brought to you by Rentals.ca. And moves are coming. With all the rumors and reports that have been coming out around the league, fans have been expecting for a lot of major shakeups to happen around the league coming this trade deadline, which will excite a lot of hockey fans. And if you feel like you need an extra excitement in your life, it's time to move for you as well. And Rentals.ca has you covered. Rentals.ca is Canada's largest apartment hunting network. You can rent houses, apartments, condos, whatever it is, Rentals.ca has you covered. From coast to coast, you can go straight to Rentals.ca website that's clean and easy to use and pinpoint exactly on the map where you want to move, and Rentals.ca will find you the best rental listings in that area. And shout out once again to Rentals.ca for coming back on board for sponsorship here on the channel. They're big hockey fans just like all of us here on the channel. And if you're looking to move into a new apartment, into a new condo, Rentals.ca is the perfect spot to go. So make sure to go down below in the description, in the pinned comment, to go check out Rentals.ca to find your new home. But with that said, let's get right into the first topic of the video, and that is Habs trading young prospect. And as we take a look here from Jacob Stoller on Twitter, from the Hockey News, he writes, hearing the Montreal Canadiens are shopping Jordan Harris ahead of the deadline. Harris is a 23-year-old left-handed defenseman who skates well and has one more year left on his deal at $1.4 million. Montreal's overflow of young D has made him expendable. And as you take a look at Jordan Harris's stats so far this season and throughout his career, so far this season through 32 games, he has 6 points. He also has 46 blocks, 13 hits, and last season having career high in points with 17 and 65 games, getting into a lot of games in last year's lineup. Also having 98 blocks and 53 hits. And as Jacob Stoller said here, he's 1 year left on his deal at $1.4 million AAV. So you get him for one more year if you do trade for this guy. And as he did mention earlier here, as we take a look, the Habs are pretty chalked down to D. As we look at their depth chart here, you can see a guy at the bottom in Lane Hudson and David Reinbacher, guys who aren't currently with the big club but look to get up with the Montreal Canadiens very soon, whether it's next year, whether it's a couple years' time. These are guys who you want to get in your lineup, some top prospects here. You also have Kovacevic, Justin Barron, Logan Mailloux, just a couple more young guys that you want to get up there. Some guys in Caden Gooley and stuff like that have already, been in the lineup for some time, but there are some guys here in the Montreal Canadiens system that hope to get into this lineup very soon, and looking to trade a young defenseman is probably the best option for Kent Hughes and the Montreal Canadiens at this point, because obviously you have a lot of young guys coming up through the system who you want to get in the lineup, guys who are projected to be great defensemen in the league. You want to give them a shot in the NHL, and the only way to do this is to trade some of the guys you already have. And this is exactly what they're doing here with Jordan Harris by shopping him at the trade deadline. I mean, there is 3 options here that I could see personally Kent Hughes doing in with Jordan Harris. The first option here is trading him just straight up for a draft pick. His cap hit isn't that big in $1.4 million. A lot of teams can easily absorb this contract for a pick back in the other direction. And if I was just to take a stab at it, I would assume that they would maybe get a 3rd, maybe a 4th round pick back for this guy. A second option that I could see them trading is just trading them for an established player in the league. We've seen reports of Kent Hughes saying that he wants to acquire some established players. And the players that they will be going after are forwards, in my opinion. Maybe some bottom 6 guys, maybe some guys who can go up and down the lineup just to spark some offense here. And some guys that are available here at the deadline that really pique my interest. One is Arthur Kaliev. This guy is 22 years old, an RFA this season. So maybe you trade off Jordan Harris and some assets that they acquired to get this guy in right wing, 22 years old. He has a lot of potential, not really quite as established as some other players I'm going to mention here, but I really do think that he could find his own here in Montreal, developing with this young team and really come in to the great right wing that everybody expects him to be. Another player that I do is on my radar for this is Warren Fogle of the Edmonton Oilers. This guy's 27 years old, has been playing great with Edmonton, but if Edmonton's looking to add a young defenseman, maybe they take a look at Jordan Harris. Maybe they offer up Warren Fogle in this situation. I think Montreal would also have to give a pick back in this situation. A 27-year-old guy, I think that you could lock him up for a few more years here in Montreal if he does get traded here. Maybe you sign a 4 or 5 year extension with this guy. He's 27. You get him in the prime years of his career when Montreal's trying to come out of the latter half of this rebuild. And this is an established guy that you can easily put in your bottom six. That's going to spark some offense. Another guy that is here on the trade bait list that kind of piques my interest is Anthony Mantha. A little bit older in 29, but you know what you're getting with Anthony Mantha. This is a guy who's going to be a great goal scorer. He's going to be a great passer as well, and I think that maybe getting this guy in with a younger group that Montreal has could really help this team out. But I did say that there was three options, and the third option that I kind of suspect arising here is maybe a package deal here. Maybe you see Jordan Harris packaged up with one of these goalies that Montreal's trying to ship out in, say, Jake Allen. Jake Allen, a little bit of an older guy. Maybe you package in this younger defenseman at 23 years old in Jordan Harris with Jake Allen, just to, sweeten the deal a little bit here, to move Allen out, maybe get a higher pick back in this situation as well. This is the situation that I could see arising here in Montreal. The most likely situation, I think that they're trying to get rid of Allen, and maybe adding in a younger defenseman to kind of sweeten the deal here could really get this deal rolling and really get the ball rolling, and really we might be able to see this trade happen. But this is very interesting from Kent Hughes and the Montreal Canadiens. Obviously, Montreal Canadiens fan I am, and I really like Jordan Harris, the way he plays. He's a great playmaker. He can move the puck up the ice, distribute it very well. He sees the ice very well. He's also good at shutting plays down in his zone and stuff like this. And I think he has potential to be a really solid second to third pairing defenseman here in the NHL. And I think acquiring him now it would be great for any team. Obviously, we hate to see him go here, but we do have some young prospects coming up in Lane Hudson, David Reinbacher, who we really want to see get into this lineup. But it will be interesting to see what Kent Hughes and the Montreal Canadiens do here. Let me know down below in the comment section. What do you think? Do you think that Montreal is going to take a swing and trade Jordan Harrison here? And what kind of situation do you see them trading Jordan Harrison? Let me know down below in the comment section. We're going to get into the second topic of the video today, which is Tanev trade price revealed. And as we take a look here, as per Elliot Friedman, the Flames are currently maintaining their stance with Chris Tanev, waiting on the market to offer up a first-round pick or an equivalent. There is notable interest from Dallas, with speculation that they may also be interested in Noah Hanifin. Edmonton, Toronto, and Vancouver are among the other teams showing interest, and Colorado has shown intermittent interest in this trade as well, and various other teams have also been in the mix on Chris Tanev. And obviously, if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know a lot about Chris Tanev, but we're going to talk about him here. Obviously, on the last year of his deal at $4.5 million AAV. Obviously, this guy's a great stay-at-home defenseman. We've talked about this multiple times here. And as we take a look at his stats, I mean, this guy's among one of the top shot block leaders in the entire NHL with 162 this season through 53 games, also having 12 points, 11 assists, 1 goal. And like we've talked about here on the channel before, Chris Tanev obviously is a great defensive stay-at-home defenseman, can shut down plays in his own end, great on the penalty kill and stuff like this. He's a great, he can move the puck up the ice as well, can shut down some of the top offenses in the NHL. And a first-round pick to me here, I think could be worth it for the Toronto Maple Leafs or any of these other teams looking to add Chris Tanev here, because if you can bring this guy in retained in Toronto's situation, maybe you try to bring Tanev in here at 50% retained at the deadline. I really do think at that point the first round pick is worth it, because Calgary's retaining half of his salary. You're getting a great defenseman to bolster your defense for this playoff push, and you're offering up your first round pick, which is really a late first round pick here. You're looking to make a deep playoff run. This pick is going to range between 24 and onward, backwards, in this, if they make the playoffs and they go on a run here. But obviously, like I said, Chris Tanev is a great addition for any team looking to make a run at the Stanley Cup playoffs this year. And offering up a first round pick isn't the worst idea here, in my opinion. They do also say of same value, so maybe offer up a top prospect here like Nick Robertson in Toronto's situation. This could really help get the deal over the hump as well. And there's a lot of other teams that are showing interest here, like Vancouver and stuff like this, that have a lot of prospects in their pool that they could maybe ship out instead of their first round pick, depending on where the team stands and what they want to do. But it'll be really interesting to see what happens here come trade deadline with Chris Tanev, because as we've seen here a lot on the channel, we've talked a lot about it. This is the number one right-handed shot defenseman that everybody wants to go after here at the deadline. It'll really be interesting to see who goes out and gets this guy. And once this guy is traded, I really do think we see everything start to break open here. The gates are going to bust open, because as soon as he's gone, we're going to see a lot of other defensemen who are currently on the block really be shipped out here as well, I do believe. But let me know down below in the comments section, what do you think about Chris Tanev for a first round pick or equivalent? I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on that down below in the comments section? But we're going to get into everybody's favorite topic here on the channel, which is comment of the day. And the comment of the day today goes to Steven. He says, love to see Dumba on the Maple Leafs. And, I mean, this might be a controversial take from Steven, as from all the comments we've seen yesterday, a lot of you guys don't like Matt Dumba. I'm a really big fan of Matt Dumba, and I'd really love to see him on the Leafs. I think he's a great two-way guy. He'd be a great second-pairing defenseman for this team. And I have to agree with Steven here. I think he'd be a great addition for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I think just be a great trade in general. And if you want to check that video out, it'll be popping up on your screen towards the end of this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to go down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road for 3,000 subscribers, and really appreciate it if you're not subscribed already to go down below and hit that subscribe button. But like I said, if you want to check out that video on the Dumba on the Tanev trade yesterday, it's popping up on your screen right now. But as always, I've been your host KC. Keep your stick on the ice.